So what is up, guys? Brennan Suter back, and I don't think you've ever seen me be this upset over a Saints win, as yes, we did beat the Atlanta Falcons 30-20 in our season finale, but it meant nothing because the LA Rams had a 17-0 lead that they blew, lost in overtime to the San Francisco 49ers, and that eliminated the Saints from making the playoffs. It absolutely hurts, but to be fair, I'm not sure we would have even done well in the playoffs, but I'll get to that later. Anyways, going to get to a general recap of the game, individual player stats, talking about both the Saints and the Rams game in this one, and final grades. Without further ado, let's get this video started. All right, so on to a general recap of the game. So to start off, Saints got the first ball, and what do you think we do here? Do we punt? Do we kick a field goal? Well, the answer is none of those. We score a fucking touchdown. I'm thinking, where has this been all season? The last time we scored on an opening drive was January 3rd, 2021, week 17 against the Carolina Panthers. That's how long we have gone without scoring a touchdown on an opening drive. So that is very depressing. But it was an 18-yard passing touchdown to Adam Trautman, so it was pretty hyped up. The Falcons, they followed that up with a long and methodical drive down the field that ended in a Younghoe Koo field goal. So I'm thinking, okay, not the end of the world. I'll take it because Younghoe Koo is going to kick anything. Then the Saints, we drive down the field, get to a 4th and 9 at the Atlanta 16, and Brett Maher shanks the 34-yard field goal. I'm thinking, money from 60+, terrible from everywhere else, just like Dallas. That hurt. But then the Falcons, they once again drive down the field, and they had to settle for a Younghoe Koo 54-yard field goal. So I'm thinking, okay, well, so far the offense has shown promise, so let's hope we can keep this up. And we followed up on the very next drive, another methodical drive that ended in a Trevor Siemian passing touchdown to Traquan Smith. Now, on this drive, Taysom Hill did go out with an injury. It turned out to be a Lisfranc injury. We found that out maybe like a day later, but as soon as Taysom Hill went out, I'm thinking, okay, that's it. Season's over. Yeah, we'll win the game, but if we make the playoffs, we're absolutely screwed. But the greatest thing about the Traquan Smith touchdown, it was just an excellent catch. Man, takes off his helmet, starts celebrating. I know my hair's a mess there, but yeah, he gets flagged for that, and I'm thinking, Cam Newton did the exact same thing. He takes off his helmet, yells, I'm back, and literally does not get flagged, does not even get fined. But no, you're going to do that to Traquan Smith. Anyways, didn't matter. So the Falcons on the very next drive, one play. Matt Ryan looks deep, fires, and gets the one, and Paulson Adebo with the one-handed pick. It was just amazing to see. Then the Saints, we drive down the field, and we settle for a 37-yard field goal by Brett Maher. So I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So then on the very next drive, the Falcons, once again, it's only one play as Matt Ryan, short pass out to Mike Davis, and Malcolm Jenkins actually forced the fumble, and he starts celebrating like, yeah, let's go. And he didn't even realize that the ball was loose, and it got recovered by Quan Alexander. And it was just funny because the camera flashed to him flexing, and then you could just see like Quan Alexander in the corner just picking up the ball, and then they immediately flash back to the field cam. So it's just, I didn't think it was a fumble either, but it was. And then on the very next drive, we cap it off with a 5-yard passing touchdown to Juwan Johnson. We're up 24-6, and we just do a squib kick to end the half. All right, so to start the second half, at this point, I actually stopped watching the Saints game. And I know you're thinking it's crazy, but what ended up happening was I just ended up watching the Rams and 49ers game instead, because at that point, I felt pretty comfortable with the Saints lead. Now, I did have the Saints game on my phone, but I was watching the Rams and 49ers with my dad, so that was pretty interesting. My dad's a Niners fan, so yeah, I'll get to that later. But the Falcons, to start the half, they go on a 3-and-out. Then the Saints, we drive down the field, get to a 4th and 1 at the New Orleans 45, and we turn it over on downs. We actually ended up with an illegal formation, but turns out Falcons declined it. Then the Falcons on their next drive, they go for it, and it's another turnover on downs. Then the Saints, we follow that right up with a 3-and-out. Then the Falcons, quick, methodical drive down the field, and it ends with an Olsen touchdown. So now we're up 24-13, so I'm thinking, let's just get some more points so we can secure this. We slowly and methodically drive down the field, and it ends off with a Brett Maher 27-yard field goal. So now I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. Back up by 14, so I think we have this in the bag. Then the Falcons, on their very next drive, short pass over to Mike Davis, and the man fumbled it again, picked up by Shy Tuttle. So the Saints, we end up settling with a field goal, and I'm thinking that's fine. Trevor Siemian's the quarterback. We would have to completely adjust to his game plan. So you know what? I'm cool with it. We'll just let it slide. Then the Falcons, they followed up with a 3-and-out, and the Saints also followed up with a 3-and-out. And then the Falcons, they drive down the field and just get a garbage time touchdown, a passing touchdown to Russell Gage. Then the Saints, Trevor Siemian takes a knee. End of the game, we win 30-20. And I know I wasn't as active talking about the second half, but to be honest, I didn't really watch much of the second half. Like, I just kind of had it, just checked in every now and then, but it was just way more focused on the Rams and 49ers. All right, so on to individual player stats, starting off with Taysom Hill, showing that he's actually got a lot of promise. Now, yes, Taysom Hill is at his best when he's playing the Atlanta Falcons. We saw that last year in his 2 starts against the Falcons. And in his limited time, as he was 7 for 9, 107 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. And then Trevor Siemian, when he came in, he also did a pretty solid job. 9 for 15, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks as well. So overall, we did a good job on offense. The rush game, Alvin Kamara did an excellent job, ran for 146 yards, followed up with Tony Jones with 22, Taysom Hill with 18, Deontay Harris with 9, Adam Prentice with 1, and then Taysom Hill with -1. Now, part of that was because it was a knee. So not going to blame him for that. Lead receiver was actually Tre'Quan Smith, 5 receptions, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Followed up with Little Jordan Humphrey, 1 reception, 26 yards. Deontay Harris, 3 receptions, 24 yards. Adam Troutman, 1 reception, 18 yards, and a touchdown. Kamara, 2 receptions, 16 yards. I really hope for next season we can get Kamara kind of involved a little bit more in the pass game, just with some more screens and checkdowns, because that's when he's most effective. But also, he was dealing with health issues this year, so 75% Alvin Kamara is nowhere lethal as 100% Alvin Kamara. Think about that when in 2019 to 2020 for Alvin Kamara. Then Nick Vannett, 1 reception, 10 yards. Juwan Johnson, 1 reception, 5 yards, and a touchdown. Adam Prentice, 1 reception, 2 yards. And Ty Montgomery, 1 reception, 1 yard. And that was pretty much it. The defense just did an excellent job. We forced 3 turnovers, 1 Matt Ryan pick, and 2 fumbles off Mike Davis. Yeah, we did give up 20 points, but, 14 of those were in the second half. And the last 7 points we gave up, that was just a garbage time touchdown for them. So I am not going to grill the Saints defense over that. I think we played an excellent game. Then on to the Falcons. Matt Ryan, he did okay. 216 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Lead rusher was Mike Davis with 30 yards, but, 2 fumbles. That was pretty costly. Quadre Olison was the lead rusher with 19 yards and a touchdown. Followed up with Cordell Patterson with 11 yards, and then Matt Ryan with 2. Lead receiver was Russell Gage. Ever since Calvin Ridley stepped down due to mental health reasons, Gage has done an excellent job being that wide receiver 1. 9 receptions, 126 yards, and a touchdown. Followed by Olamide Zaccheaus, 3 receptions, 47 yards. Hayden Hurst, 1 reception, 33 yards. Kyle Pitts, 2 receptions, 8 yards. Keith Smith, 1 reception, 3 yards. And then Cordell Patterson, 1 reception, 1 yard. That was pretty much it. The defense definitely struggled today against the Saints, especially in the first half. It's against a Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian-led New Orleans Saints, so that's definitely you're gonna knock a few points off you. But, you got it together in the second half. But at that point, the Saints were just trying to run the clock down as much as possible. So our offense wasn't playing up to its full potential. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the Rams game before I give some final thoughts on the Saints. So honestly, this was an excellent game between the Rams and the 49ers. Now, I didn't watch much of the first half. I watched pretty much the entire second half. The way I could describe it, LA Rams got out to a 17-0 lead. It was 17-3 at the half, and then the 49ers put their foot on the gas, scoring 2 immediate touchdowns, making it 17-17. Then they both teams hit a rut on offense, only for the Rams to get a go-ahead touchdown to Cooper Kupp, only for the 49ers to follow it up with a touchdown to Jawan Jennings to tie the game. The game ends up going into overtime, and as soon as the 49ers won the coin toss, I knew we were screwed. I knew we were screwed because they can just go down the field and kick a field goal. If they score a touchdown, the game's over. But if they can kill off enough clock and kick a field goal, we're screwed either way, because even if the Rams and Niners tied, it would mean nothing. The Saints wouldn't be able to make the playoffs. Anyways, the 49ers end up kicking a field goal, and on the drive, the way that it ended, Matthew Stafford with the ball says, "Fuck it, OBJ's down there somewhere," but it gets intercepted by Ambry Thomas. His butt lands inbounds before he goes out, and it just killed me. I remember watching that with my dad. I saw it, and I just collapsed to the ground. He was pretty happy, and, we're both humble about it. He was pretty humble about the victory. And, he and I are on good terms. So there's nothing going on. But so what pisses me off so much about this loss is, number one, Sean McVay was 45-0 when he led at halftime. Now he's 45-1. And this team and the Rams are basically Jekyll and Hyde. Like Matthew Stafford is Jekyll and Hyde. So the Jekyll side, that's the good side. And that was the first half for the Rams. Matthew Stafford was 15 for 16, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And that's when the Rams were clicking, when they took that 17-0 lead and were up 17-3 at halftime. But then came the second half and overtime, and that is when Jekyll turned to Hyde, and the Rams sucked. Matthew Stafford, 6 for 16, 85 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 crucial interceptions. And honestly, with how dependent they are on Matthew Stafford's performance, I don't think this team can win the Super Bowl. There's no way the Rams can win the Super Bowl. They'll be lucky to even make it out of the first round. They're playing the Cardinals. I think they could win, but I'll get to that in my playoff predictions. But yeah, no, it just hurts. All right, now on to some final thoughts on the Saints missing the playoffs. I'm half and half on this. The pissed off part was that we dealt with so many injuries this year. The biggest domino that fell, of course, was the injury of Jameis Winston, the decimation of the O-line, all the COVID cases, Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, just all the running back injuries, and of course, Michael Thomas. We were dealt a horrible hand, yet Sean Payton brought this team to 9-8 and this close to the playoffs. I think making the playoffs would show that we're still a big threat. We don't need our big players. We can still make the playoffs. And this season made me respect the hell out of Sean Payton. And anyone who thought that Sean Payton was the problem, check your fucking self. This season proved that Sean Payton is still a top dog in the league. But the part that I'm happy about is the reality is we would have got our asses kicked in the first round because we would have, had the Rams won that, we would play the LA Rams, and with the decimation on the offensive line, their front seven would eat us alive. And of course, with Taysom Hill going out with the Lisfranc injury, Trevor Siemian, come on. I don't expect him to lead us to a playoff victory. So, the good part was just reality. We weren't going to do anything, and it was just, losing right and winning and making the playoffs would basically just delay the inevitable. And also don't have to spend $40 on a playoff t-shirt. So that's also a positive, but I did want that playoff t-shirt. All right, so for some final thoughts on the Saints, I'm proud of these guys. Despite all the injuries, we still went 9-8. We had a whole lot of high points this season, beating the Green Bay Packers on opening day, despite not being in New Orleans due to Hurricane Ida. Obviously the 2 victories of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which gave me an immense sense of false optimism. The Jameis Winston honestly really impressed me this season. Despite the horrible weapons he was given, he showed a lot of promise, and I want him back as my quarterback next year. If we're more healthy, maybe get another receiver for him, I think he could have an excellent season. And, Cam Jordan's breakout at the end of the season, that was awesome to watch. But some of the low points, the one loss I will never forget was the one of the New York Giants, as well as Week 9 against the Atlanta Falcons, where we were down, came back, and then falconed the game away. That one hurt, as well as the loss to the Tennessee Titans, because in that loss, we were down, and we had 2 missed extra points from Brian Johnson. We go on to score the touchdown, but those 2 points would have come into handy because we had to go for 2 just to tie the game, and we failed it. Obviously, all the injuries was a low point, especially the Jameis Winston torn ACL. And honestly, another low point definitely had to be against the Miami Dolphins, because at that point, I was just thinking, oh my God, there's no way we make it at this point. But you know what? Hell of a season, boys. Looking forward to next year. All right, so for final grades, I'm going to give the Saints offense an 8 out of 10. It was an excellent game that we played. Sure, the second half, our offense was down, but, we didn't really need to do much on offense, so I'll give that an 8 out of 10. The defense, I'm also going to give an 8 out of 10 because, we did an excellent job at shutting down the Atlanta Falcons. Once again, like the Saints offense, it was a rough second half, but, we had such a comfortable lead, it didn't really matter all that much. And then the Falcons, I'm just going to give them a 5 out of 10 on offense and a 5 out of 10 on defense. Was this lazy of me? Kind of. I really want to get to my playoff predictions. That's the next big project. So anyway, Saints get an 8 out of 10 for today, and the Falcons get a 5 out of 10. On to the outro. And that is going to wrap up my video for today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. These Saints recaps, they were either a lot of fun or extremely brutal to film. But you know what? For the most part, I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I was able to do it all the way through this year. Be on the lookout for postseason predictions. Anyways, if you want to see Week 18 predictions, click right over here. If you like this video, drop a like, subscribe to my channel by clicking over here, or the subscribe button down below. Comment down below what your thoughts were on the Saints game. Did we deserve to make the playoffs, or would making the playoffs just be delaying the inevitable? Follow me on all my social medias, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, @BrennanSuter. Thank y'all for watching. Have a great day. Who Dat Nation, out of the playoffs. But you know what? It's most likely for the good. Thanks, everyone. Is out.